All right, that should work. And then let's go ahead and go here. Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? Sorry, I'm just getting everything set up real quick. Um, mm, 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 mm. York or Wright? I would probably go with Wright because I think the Lions' offense is probably a little better there. Or I think it's more. There's a higher chance that he's probably gonna get more volume. What's up, Boston? How you doing, man? Okay. Rank these quarterbacks for this week: Will Levis, Tua, Herbert. Probably. I haven't really looked at matchups just yet, but just from that, probably Herbert, Tua, Levis. I'm doing pretty good. Just been busy, but it's been good. Tua or Russ for QB. Probably. I think I'd lean Russ probably. Keenan, Devonta, or D Hop. Um, I think that you probably go with Devonta there, even though he's having a little bit of a down year. I think you still um just trust that he'll have a bounce back game here. All right, I think we should be all good now. So let's go ahead and pull this NFL Pro out. Um, oops, gotta get all these out of the way. All right. Let's see what we're looking at here. Levis playing the Jags, Tua's playing Jets, Herbert's playing the Chiefs. Only compensating was okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you still probably go with either Tua or Herbert. I really don't trust Will Levis this year at all. Um, between those guys, I mean, between those guys, I think I'd probably go with this load. Between those guys, I'd probably go with Herbert just because I think that I think Miami's probably going to be in the Jets like almost the whole game. So I think that the passing volume might not be as much for Tua. Um, let me see how Levis has been playing actually. Yeah, you're right. He's not been playing bad at all actually. Um, I think I'd still probably lean towards Herbert, but I'm scared with Devonta because of this game script. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. If you didn't want to start Devonta, I wouldn't blame you. I think between D Hop and who was that one you said? D Hop and Keenan. I think you can't really go wrong between either one, but I'd probably lean towards D Hop. Who's to flex? Grando Swift, Shakir, Odunze, Westbrook, and 10-man PPR. Probably. Let me see. I think that um I think you probably go with Garendo there. Um I think Garendo's gonna have a pretty big role with obviously with no Jordan Mason, Christian McCaffrey. I think you're pretty set with him starting him there. How's the Jets offense gonna do without Brees Hall? Probably not good. I think yeah, like you said, Mr. Magic. I think that Braylon Allen's probably gonna get a good amount of snaps, but at the same time, I'm not sure what the Jets are gonna look like because they split that running back core a lot. So McConkey doesn't play, then is Herbert still worth starting over Tua Levis? Probably not. I think if McConkey's out, then I think you probably lean towards Levis. I don't really know if I like Tua this week against the Jets. DJ Moore's nursing an injury too. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you want to go with Keenan, I'm completely fine with that too. I think either way, D Hop or Keenan, I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. So, all right, it is. Let me go full screen here. There we go. That's better. Oh man, just looking at this Jets offense just makes me mad. All right, I mean, looking at the Jets Dolphins game, I think the Dolphins win. What's really been making me mad about the Jets is that I have Garrett Wilson in a bunch of leagues, and I don't know. Like, I think he hasn't been bad, obviously, but I traded for him earlier in the year because I was like, oh, okay, he's gonna be great, right? It was like it was right before the game. He had like 23 targets against Minnesota. Um, and I traded for him because of all the target volume he's getting, right? And I mean, he's still getting a decent amount, but it's just, I mean, this Jets offense is just not good anymore. I mean, it was looking okay, but I don't know. I'm frustrated. I traded for him. Um, drop Kincaid for Ertz. I have Daniels. You could definitely consider that. You can, yeah. I mean, that stack wouldn't be bad at all. I think that Zach Ertz is probably a more consistent tight ends. than Kincaid will be. I think Kincaid's more like a boomer bust type guy. So if you have Daniels too, then I wouldn't mind that at all. Same, bro. I played Garrett Wilson over Terry McLaurin last week and it cost me the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that he was gonna be really good this year, and I just think that obviously with the new head coach coming in like mid-season, and just like Aaron Rodgers really hasn't looked like himself at all. I think that that's been a really big issue for them. Um, but yeah, once again, looking at the Dolphins side, I mean, this offense is really good. Obviously, I think that you're probably going to see a decent amount of passing from Tua, but like we were talking about before, I'm sure that they're probably going to win the majority of game time in here. So we're probably going to see a lot of actions from Devon A. Chain. So sadly, just turned out to be they were going down last year. It didn't matter to me, but going this year and his connections was good. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I was really excited for him, and I feel like I'm gonna fall into the same trap next year, where I'm also gonna be really excited for them. Um, so I don't know. I just really like Garrett Wilson a lot. I think that's probably why. Yeah, Dolphins should dominate. Yeah, I think so for sure. All right, Falcons Vikings game here. This one's gonna be a pretty good one. Um, I saw some rumors that they were thinking of benching Kirk for Penix, and I was like, I don't know. It was on ESPN, so the thing with ESPN is I feel like sometimes they just say stuff to get more clicks. So that's definitely not going to happen though. And they shouldn't do that if they want to win football games. But anyway, looking at this game here, in terms of fantasy, you got Kirk Cousins. Obviously, he's been doing a Bijan Robinson, definitely still a very viable running back. Drake London as well. As long as he continues to get targets, there's no reason why he shouldn't eat in this offense. Kyle Pitts, kind of the same as he's been his whole career. He's either going to get 0 points or just not do very good, or he's going to have, some of those games where he does really well. Looking at the Vikings, Sam Darnold's been playing great as of late, obviously. Really this whole season, I think he's been surprising everyone. TJ Hawkinson, definitely a viable option at tight end. Jay Jettas, he's just going to get all the targets. Kind of like same thing here with Drake London. I think that's just, what's going to happen, and that's why he's going to be so successful in fantasy. Um, is Neighbors playing too? Let me check. Giants. On here they have him playing right now. He's questionable. Didn't play Friday, so I don't know. I haven't seen anything on him just yet, but yeah, they can't. There's no way they can bench him. There's no reason for them to start Penix. It's like, I don't know. It'd be too risky, especially going against this Vikings defense. You kind of need an experienced player here. But okay, Saints Giants, like we were talking about before, like 5 seconds ago, with Neighbors potentially being out, I think that could be a big loss for this offense. If he's out, then obviously Wan'Dale Robinson is someone that you can look at starting, because obviously he's gonna get a lot of targets. Like, let's see if we look here. I forget which weeks exactly that he was out, but yeah, like these weeks here, 14, 9, 11. I mean, if Neighbors is out, you're expecting this type of target share for him. So I think that you can start him pretty confidently. Even that touchdown upside might not be there. I think the Vikings will win. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just a tough spot for Atlanta. I'm playing against JJ and Aaron Jones. Yeah, that's a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. Those two are very they've been really good in fantasy this year. Tyrone Tracy's been great, obviously. Drew Lock, is this which start number is this for him? By the way, I haven't streamed since that whole Daniel Jones thing went down. That was crazy. Happened within the span of 3 days, bro. Went from like QB1 to like QB3, and then he was like QB4 playing safety for the practice squad. I mean, that was an insane, yeah, kind of crazy. But all right, Drew Lock, this is gonna be his second game, so I don't know. I think last week against the Cowboys, he looked okay. I mean, kind of just like what I expected Drew Lock to look like, I think Tyrone Tracy's still probably going to get a lot of touches out of this offense, though. Saints side of things, only person you can really start is Kamara, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's hard with Derek Carr. He doesn't really have much weapons. Obviously, you might have a blow-up game from MVS, like we've seen in the previously in the year, but I don't think that's very likely. Um, I think that the Saints probably come over that one just because I don't know. I think if Neighbors plays that could definitely shift you know the odds a little bit here in favor of the Giants, obviously. But I don't know. I think that Kamara's going to be a pretty big X factor in this game. So I think it'll probably help lead them to win the game there. Panthers Eagles, another pretty not good game here. Obviously, with the Eagles favored by 13.5. Bryce Young's actually been, he hasn't looked horrible in the past couple of weeks. He's looked like a decent player. Um, Kyler Stafford or Russ. You also have Cup. Let's see. Probably between. I'd be between Kyler and Stafford, probably. Um, and honestly, I'd probably lean towards Stafford because I think that. Let me see this. Let me see what they have it at. Yeah, over under 49.5. Yeah, you're projecting a higher scoring game here for the Rams Bills. And I'm expecting there to be a lot more passing volume than there is running. So I would probably lean with the with Stafford there. Are all the Raiders running backs out except for one? I think so. Let's go ahead and look at their injury report. Zamir White out. Alexander Madison questionable. Abdullah unspecified, but he did play. I think that's if that does happen, then that would be insane and probably pretty tragic for the Raiders, even though they everything's out the window for them already. But okay, back to this game. Yeah, so I think that you're probably gonna Saquon's projected 100 rush yards. I was about to say I think that with them being up so much, it's probably what's gonna happen. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. I think you're really praying that they get a lot of work in the first half because I don't know if the second half of the Eagles are probably just gonna be running the ball a whole lot. So. But I mean, you can definitely still start AJ Brown and Devonta, especially AJ Brown. Devonta more like in flex options, probably more like a top 40 type player. But yeah, I think that this is a game where Saquon Barkley should eat. As far as the Panthers, only person you could really consider starting is Hubbard. Other than that, it's kind of rough for everyone else. I mean, maybe Thielen, he wouldn't be like horrible, obviously, with all those targets coming out of Bryce Young, right? Kind of like what we saw last year. He wasn't that bad of an option, right? And I mean, considering they're going to be down by a lot, he's probably going to get a lot of targets. So I wouldn't hate starting Thielen in that spot either. Alrighty, next up we got the Browns Steelers game. Obviously both teams coming off some really high scoring matchups here. But I think really what's been surprising me is how great Jerry Jeudy's been with Jameis. I think that, obviously with Jameis getting so many passing yards, it's going to be really good for everyone in this offense, right, who's involved. People, Njoku, Moore, Jeudy, basically anyone that's on the field. Everyone's going to get a fair share of not targets, but like a good amount of yards, right? And I mean, yeah, I think that Nick Chubb is someone who's right now, I believe, like pretty touchdown dependent. Because like in the games where he didn't score a touchdown, he's I believe he's scoring under 10 on fantasy. Let's see. Wish I could bring this up like some other way. Yeah, okay. So like here, touchdown. I think that he only had he doesn't get like any receptions at all either, so it's a little rough for him. Um, but yeah, I mean, you're really banking if you're starting Chubb, you're banking for a touchdown. Otherwise, he's probably not going to get you too many fantasy points. Um, but yeah, I mean, looking at the Steelers side of things, definitely, against the Browns defense might be a little tough. But I think that the offense for the Browns really just, it's not good at all. And I mean, I think that the Steelers defense should potentially hold Jameis. Obviously, I've seen crazier things from Jameis Winston, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jameis does somehow have a blow up game. But like looking at someone like George Pickens or Najee Harris. I mean, I think you can start them for sure. I think it's gonna be a little bit rougher maybe for George Pickens that second half because I think that the Steelers should be winning this game by a decent amount. You know. All right. Next up, we got the Raiders Buccaneers game. I really don't think there's too much to talk about here, right? I mean, Bowers and maybe Jacoby. Yeah, Jacoby Myers you could start too. I think those are the only two guys really. You can look at starting some Raiders running backs, right? Let's look at this last game. Just want to pull it up. Yeah, I mean their running back room is pretty split. So I mean, even if Abdullah's the only one that's healthy right now on the injury report, you're still gonna see McCormick get some snaps. So I think that you can't really start any of the running backs. And on top of that, they're probably gonna be losing this whole game. So I think Aiden O'Connell is probably gonna get a lot of passing volume, and most of those targets are probably gonna be funneled to Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. So I think that's probably what you're gonna see on the Buccaneers side of things, though. I've been really, really loving Bucky Irving, right? Obviously Rashad White's role is like almost all the way gone. Let me see. I don't even know. Let me look at his stats like the last game. Because all I remember seeing really was Bucky Irving just be Bucky Irving, you know? Yeah, so Bucky Irving's getting about 2/3 of the snaps, or at least 2/3 of the rushing touches here, out of the backfield. And obviously, with Bucky, you have the potential for him here. 3 receptions, 33 yards out of the backfield to catch some balls from Baker. But I don't know. I think really what you're looking at here is that he's the starting running back on like a pretty solid offense, considering Mike Evans is also back, right? So I think that Bucky Irving's definitely a top 10. Honestly, I think conservatively, like definitely a top 15 running back in fantasy. I think he's gonna be really good. And he has been really good. You know. All right, looking at the Titans side of things, and it's the Jaguars here. A little bit of a rivalry game. Yeah, kind of like we were talking about before. Jaguars defense really is the worst defense against the pass right now. Obviously, the Titans also, Will Levis is not a very good passer, so I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make in this game. But I do think that Tony Pollard definitely someone you can look to start for sure. Uh, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's hard to start almost anyone on this Titans offense because of just how bad everyone together is. I don't know. I just really didn't like. I don't really like watching them at all, to be honest with you. Looking at the Jags though, I think that Brian Thomas maybe you could start. Evan Ingram. Other than that, there's no one really here you can start. Um, it sucks that T. Law got hurt last week because I think that Mac Jones he's an okay quarterback, but obviously you'd much rather have Trevor Lawrence. So I think yeah, Brian Thomas, Evan Ingram, those are probably your two guys that you can look for starting there. As far as who's gonna win this game though, I don't know. I think this game's probably gonna be pretty ugly. I think I might just go with the Vegas odds and go with the Titans here. I mean, I think that either way, you need Jamar Puka McBride to take me to the promised land. I mean, those are some good options to take you to the promised land, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Jamar, yeah. I mean, those guys are all getting a ton of volume in their offenses, so I think you should be totally fine. Um, all right, next up we got the Seahawks Cardinals here. So yeah, right now we are looking at the odds. Cardinals favored by 3 points. Um, Not too surprising in my opinion. The Cardinals honestly haven't looked that bad this year. Both teams are really fighting for an NFC playoff spot. The NFC, yeah, that wild card is getting heated right now with all the standings. So I think that this is a game where both teams are going to want to win. Obviously, I think that this is probably going to be a pretty tight matchup here. So I mean, I think that anyone really. I think Kyler Murray, James Conner, Trey McBride, maybe Marvin Harrison. You can definitely start. Look at Marvin Harrison's previous games because I have not been looking. Yeah, Marvin Harrison. Yeah, I mean he's been looking all right as of recent. I mean, I think that you're just kind of worried about these games here, but as the season goes on, rookies get better. It's almost like a proven study at this point. But yeah, that's the Cardinals side of things with the Seahawks. Um, Gino, Kenneth, DK, JSN, all those guys you can definitely start. Really, I've been really what I've. Oh, sorry. I really like JSN. I think that he's probably one of my favorite receiver options. It's not like a top tier type guy. He's consistent with his targets. He's consistent with his game. I think that's really important in fantasy football. So that's what I think there. Kenneth Walker. I mean, he's gonna get you your attempts. You're really kind of worried about the efficiency here. Receiving usage wise, I feel like you really see him more as a receiver when they're losing than when they're winning. 2, 2, 6, 3, 3, 5, 8, 8, 5. I mean, I don't know. I thought that's more what I was seeing, especially earlier in the year. Do you like Jacoby over Jason and DK? Probably not. I think you'd probably lean towards DK there. I don't know. I really don't trust anyone on the Raiders. It's a little tough for me there. All right, Bills Rams game here. This is a pretty high scoring projection here, right? The Rams once again in playoff contention, so they're totally want to win this game. And yeah, I mean, if we're looking here like at the projections, full PPR, yeah, I think you still go with DK. Um, but I mean, I don't think Jacoby's a horrible option. I just like I lean more towards DK Metcalf. I think that the Seahawks offense is much better. So okay, but looking at the Rams Bills here, so with the Rams, like we just said, still looking for to be in playoff contention. I think that this game here we're probably going to see a lot of passing usage from Stafford, and I think that Nakua and Cup are going to be two of the main guys who are getting receptions here, right? As we've probably seen, or we've basically seen all year whenever they're healthy, right? Looking more at the Bills side of things, I mean they've looked really good together. I think that everyone's kind of like in fruition with one another now. Obviously, coming off a big win against the 49ers on Sunday night, that was pretty big for them. But I don't know. I think that this Bills team is really really good. And I think that they should win this game. But once again, I think that this game we're probably going to see a lot of passing volume, and overall, I think it should just be a pretty good game to watch. Um, all right, next up we got Bears versus 49ers. The 49ers season has really been disappointing, and it's really not because of their fault, I guess. I mean, I feel like it kind of is because obviously Debo Samuel's really been underperforming this year. Before Ayuk got hurt, he was underperforming. But I mean, I mean, we look at the injuries. Like you got Jordan Mason, Trent Williams is out. Um, Bosa's doubtful, right? Obviously, CMC's out probably for the rest of the year, and I don't know. It's really been tough for them dealing with all these injuries, but with the Niners, right, in terms of fantasy football, you kind of got to keep that next man up mentality. So Isaac Garendo, definitely someone you want to look at starting. Juwan Jennings, I feel like, yeah, it does make sense that he's projected more. Deebo Samuel really hasn't been doing much in this offense. Um, George Kittle, you have to start every week. I think George Kittle is probably top 3 tight end no matter what. But I mean, looking at the Bears, right, I think that probably going to continue to see Caleb Williams get a decent amount of passing volume. DeAndre Swift, of course, he's also looked pretty solid as well. DJ Moore, did he? Let me see. I don't remember if he played last. I think he played last week, but let's see. Yeah, I mean he's getting all the targets in the world, so that's all you want to see from him, I guess. But if he doesn't play Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, two guys that you can definitely look at starting for sure. I just think that this Bears offense, I mean, the Bears in general, since they really know that they're not going to be in the playoffs per se. I think that they're just going to lean more heavy on trying to get their rookie quarterback more passing volume. Obviously, to let him develop. And this game here was so sad on Thursday Night Football, by the way. Can't believe the coach got fired a day after. That was insane. But all right, looking at the as far as who I think is gonna win this game, though, I think I'm gonna go with the Bears. I don't know. I really don't like the 49ers this year at all. Next up, we got Chargers Chiefs, AFC divisional opponents here. Looking at the favorites right now, the Chiefs are favored by 4, which totally makes sense. But I mean, looking at Pacheco, right? Obviously, he came back last week. Kind of, I believe he split snaps with Kareem Hunt a little bit there. So I mean, we haven't even seen Pacheco at a full 100% yet. I don't know when we will either, but yeah, he split snaps there. So something to be excited about if you have him for sure for the playoffs, right? I think that we're probably gonna see him get a decent amount of usage. D Hop definitely someone you can look at starting. Kelsey as well. Xavier Worthy, if you need him, you can start him for sure. Definitely a boomer bust type guy though. And I mean, on the Chargers side of things, Justin Herbert, he's looked amazing. He's basically proven everyone wrong, even with no weapons, right? I mean, they're 8-4 right now. I think that a lot of the improvement as well has come from Harbaugh. I think that he's helping out a lot. But I mean, I think people like Lab McConkey, he's been stepping up a lot. Will Disley, you've been seeing him make some big catches late in the game, and I don't know. I just think that this Chargers squad, they just looked pretty well. Definitely a lot better than what I thought they were gonna be. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that the Chiefs should win this game though. But honestly, if the Chargers were to pull off the upset, I would not be surprised at all because I think that they're hungry to win this game. All right, Monday Night Football game, Cincinnati, Dallas. I think that the Bengals should take this pretty easily, without really too much analysis. And I do think that it does fall upon people like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, and Joe Burrow. I mean, all of those guys are very, very viable options in fantasy football, especially someone like Chase Brown. We've seen he's been really, really good. And I mean, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, like you can't go wrong with any of these guys on the Bengals offense. Other than maybe Mike Gesicki, and I mean Mike Gesicki is someone you can still start, right? For the Cowboys, only two, I guess only 3 maybe you can still look at starting. Jake Ferguson, Dowdle, right? He's gonna have all the snaps in the world, so I think that he's gonna have a good amount of volume from him. Jake Ferguson, like, it's tough for me to say anything about Jake Ferguson because without Dak, but and he's also coming back. So I think that it's a little tough to start Jake Ferguson off the rip considering who you have, but you can definitely look at that. CeeDee Lamb, you have to start. That guy's a freaking stud, and he's going to get a lot of targets from Cooper Rush. I know that, oh, look that up, okay. I know with Cooper Rush, you could definitely get scared off by that because Cooper Rush is obviously not a great quarterback at all, but yeah, I mean, 6 targets, yeah, it sucks for CD. It really does because he's a really good player. I would still probably start him, but I understand if you might want to bench him depending on who else you have, right? Rico Dowdle, definitely someone I would look to start. Let me see how many carries he had last game. Let's see. 22. Yeah, I mean, he's going to continue to get that workload. I know obviously they were up against the Giants, so they were running the ball more, but I think that he should still continue to see like 90% of the snaps, straight up, just because he's like there's no one else really in Dallas other than Zeke, and they already said that they're not going to start Zeke. So, all right, next up, let's look at this Packers Lions Thursday Night Football game. This game was pretty crazy. Obviously 34-31, definitely a crazy ending there, but I mean. Josh Jacobs got the hat trick. I think kind of what we've been preaching all year with this receiver room for the Packers. There's no alpha receiver. Like one game it's going to be Christian Watson. The next game it could be Jaden Reed. And you don't know how to like you can't predict that. That's just how it is. But I mean, looking here, you got Laporta getting a decent amount of targets here, which is something I'm very happy that he did. Williams, you know, he's gonna have those games where he's really relying on efficiency. You know, 16 yards per reception, that's definitely a lot compared to someone like Amon who's at 8.6. But I think that, you know, the two running backs as well, Monty and Gibbs, I think those guys you have to start. There's no reason not to, especially with how good this offense is. But yeah, I mean, I think that's really it for this game. You know, you start Josh Jacobs every week. Even though he wasn't very efficient, he's gonna get all the carries you want, and especially with how good this Packers offense is. So I think that's kind of like what we're seeing there. Yeah, let's look. Let's go ahead and take a look at this NFC. Let's take a look. So right now, Lions made it, but yeah, I mean it's super tight. It's really tight for right here. Falcons, Seahawks divisions. Which divisions? They're all like really tight in the sense of divisions right now. So I'm not very good at divisions, but I mean, I know the let's see, Seahawks and no, they're not the same division. Lions are in a division with the Packers. Yeah, so I mean Packers, Vikings. So yeah, that I mean these teams are gonna have to be wild card teams. I don't see a world where the Lions drop out from being the number one seed in their division, right? Um, yeah, I mean AFC wise though, we kind of know who's gonna be in the playoffs for the AFC. And I think that this is probably how it's gonna look. It's kind of crazy that the Steelers are as good as they are. I don't think that anyone projected this from them, but someone that could potentially fall. I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins still have a chance to make it for sure. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I think this is probably those are probably the seven teams we're going to see with the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Broncos. I think those are the seven teams you're most likely going to see going at it in the playoffs. Um, Obviously, after this week, I think it's probably going to be safe to say that Browns, Titans, Jets, they're probably all going to get eliminated. Uh, the Bengals, they're talented enough to be in the playoffs. It's just their defense is so bad, and I think that's really what's been holding them back. And that's kind of what I talked about in one of my preseason videos was just how bad their defense was, and we've kind of seen that carry over. But I mean, even looking at their differential, it's only at -5, right? And we're looking, they're 4-8, right? Texans are 8-5, their differential is only +20. Colts 6-7, their differential is -31. So I mean, the Bengals aren't a bad team. It's just they haven't been able to win those close games. And I think that's kind of been the story of their season. Same thing with the Bears. Like, look at the Bears games. They're good. Can I click on this? Yep. All right, so 7-point win, 6-point loss, 5-point loss, 6-point win, 1 by 26, 1 by 19. Here's a close loss against the Commanders. Oh man, this game they should have won. That was crazy. Here's a close loss against the Packers, close loss against the Vikings, close loss against the Lions. So I mean, you convert like even two of those to wins, then they're looking at 6-6. Um, and I mean that's definitely a lot better than what they're sitting at 4-8, right? You're looking more at like the Buccaneers, Cardinals type realm in the Rams. So yeah, I think that that's kind of what's been hindering them from being so successful. But I mean, it's kind of crazy to be a 4-8 team and you have a +1 differential. That's like insane. So let's see. I haven't looked at these stats in a while, so it's good. You know what's crazy between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels right now? That offensive rookie of the year is tight. Um, I think Daniel should win it, but I don't know. I think that that both of those guys are pretty good, and if either one of them wins, I wouldn't be surprised if either one wins or the other, if that makes sense. So. Um, yeah, we can just wait here, I guess. Wait for some questions to come in. Man, Saquon's been a beast on the Eagles. Wish he came to the Texans though. Joe Mixon hasn't been bad at all though. Derrick Henry. Honestly, I think the most surprising player has probably been Derrick Henry for me. Um, I think because like I thought that his age was gonna affect him a lot, but it really hasn't done anything to him. If anything, his age has made him better. But yeah, I mean, isn't that crazy? Bark Bowers is the fourth leading receiver right now, and Jerry Judy's the fifth. That's insane to me. If you would have told me that coming into the year, even Terry McLaurin at three, I mean, maybe I would have believed you, but probably not. Uh, there's Jason at 12. McConkey, Drake London, AJ Brown. AJ Brown's been hurt for a couple games though. Yeah, I mean, I think that Jamar Chase is undisputed. I think that that dude is definitely probably the most efficient and best receiver we've seen so far. But I mean, running backs wise, definitely Saquon. I think Saquon's gonna win Offensive Player of the Year. There's no reason he shouldn't. You know. Joe Mixon's been absolute stud. Let me go. Texans don't play this week, but let me just look at their season so far. Because we can do that here. Let's see. Texans. All right. Let's see. Dolphins, I think we win. Chiefs, Ravens. That's going to be really tough. Yeah, 3 games is going to be tough for them in 10 days. And this was a part of the schedule I was really concerned for them. Obviously, the bye week this week helps out a lot, but I don't know. This is definitely the tough final stretch here. I also think that loss to the Titans 2 weeks ago was horrendous for them. They needed to win that game. So they won that game, they'd be at 9-4. They would definitely win the division for sure. 9-4. They wouldn't win the conference though, but they definitely be. They'd win the AFC South for sure with 9-4. Also, just how the AFC South has been they've been horrible this year, but All right, but let's see what else. What else is there to talk about? I'm not too sure. Um. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and look back at that Jets game. So I didn't want to look at this snap count data. Was it Corley? No, it was Davis. Isaiah Davis. Yeah, he stole a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that the Jets game, Braylon Allen's probably going to get a lot of snaps. And I think that he should be good with them. But Isaiah Davis is definitely someone to watch out for. We could definitely see him take some snaps, I think, from Brees, which might be a little spooky. But what's up, Dylan? You're good. Um, Full PPR, one quarterback. Carr, O'Connell, Rush. Tight end, Juwan. Farmouth. Goal commit. One receiver. Alrighty. Let's see. For your quarterbacks, between Carr, O'Connell, and Rush, I think you probably go with Carr. I'm not really sold on Cooper Rush just yet. Obviously, I don't think he really showed too much last week. But I think that Carr is probably your safest option there. Aiden O'Connell, you could maybe start, but between Juwan, Frymuth, and Komet, let me look at their previous games real quick. I feel like I'd lean towards Frymuth. Yeah, I would probably lean towards Frymuth, but let me just see what else because like we kind of talked about earlier, I think that the Bears are probably gonna be passing the ball a lot now. Um, since they know they're out of the playoffs, but yeah, I think you probably go with Frymuth. Um, Receiver, Devonta. I forgot. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but you're talking about the this dude, right? Yeah, Westbrook. I would probably go with Devonta. I really don't like anyone on the Titans. Two flex, Garando, Brees, Shakir, Odunze. I think, or sorry, not Brees, Braylon Allen. I think you go Braylon Allen. With that second spot, I would be between. I think I'd probably lean. Garendo there. I think that Garendo's gonna have a really good game. I think that he's probably gonna get 90% of the snaps out of the backfield. Um, and then between Carr, Levis, AOC, Rush, probably go with Levis there. Because he's been playing pretty well, and I get that this is a pretty good matchup for him against the Jaguars. So, I think that's what I would probably lean towards there. Start two, Thielen, Brandon Cooks, Leggett, Wandale, full PPR. Ugly question, I know. Um, well, I'll tell you this: if Neighbors, he's questionable right now, so if he doesn't play, definitely go with Wandale. Um, but other than that, I would probably go with Thielen. Um, between Cooks, Leggett, and Wandale, if Neighbors isn't playing. Yeah, I think that's a. I don't know. I probably wouldn't start two Panthers receivers, so I'd probably lean towards. I'd probably just lean towards Wandale. I'd just go Wandale or Thielen either way. I think that's probably your best bet. Yeah, good question, right? Good question. It's right if it's ugly. Let's see. Let's see. Look at some Josh Allen. I always like looking at Josh Allen. There's no reason not to. Take a peek. I feel bad, so bad for the Niners last week. They just got absolutely injured. Literally everyone on their team. It's kind of like I remember when the Texans last year played against the Jets, and we had like Will Anderson went down. I think that was when Stroud went down too for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. That was a stressful game to watch as a Texan fan, but if you were a Niner fan, this game definitely hurt for sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely was a little bit tough there, especially because I started George Kittle and I lost to Tyler Bass because George Kittle couldn't outscore him. No, actually, I had Kittle and McCaffrey, and I was like, all right, I got this in the bag. And then, yeah, they both didn't really do too much. Um, that was definitely a little sad, but you know, it happens sometimes. It's fantasy football. Let's see what else we got. Football, college football. What? Look at that. Ooh, wow, Arizona State's blowing Iowa State out. They'll probably be in the playoffs then. Well, this is the Big 12 championship, so I think this game's gonna be crazy. Texas, Georgia. Definitely going to be watching this game, especially because I'm a Texas fan. But I think either way, even if I wasn't a Texas fan, I'd be watching the game because it's probably gonna be crazy. Let's look at the brackets right now. That's crazy that Boise State's gonna get by, and maybe SMU. Makes sense though with how it works, but definitely did not think that Boise State or SMU was gonna be in the college play. I mean, I guess it makes sense though, because you have to if you have good teams going against good teams, then some good teams are gonna lose, and then like some bad teams are gonna. Well, not that SMU or Boise State's bad, but just like an easy schedule. You know. Let's check this. I'm trying to think what else there's to do. Okay, I'm gonna play this Google Dinosaur game. What is it? I think that should be fun. If y'all got any questions, just let me know. I'll answer them while I'm playing this dinosaur game. Alright, y'all didn't see that. Let me relock in. I was playing this with my teammates on the. I was playing this with my teammates on the bus the other day, and I forget what we got to. We got up to like super high though. It goes really fast. Okay, that just sped up. All right, got to get ready for those. All right, no, I'm gonna get. All right, what's the goal? I think we can get like 2,000. Um, if you're at the 101 next year, who you getting? Probably Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase probably the safest bet. But I don't want to be at the 101. The past couple years, the past couple years, the 101's just been like horrible. Christian McCaffrey this year, last year Justin Jefferson. I forget Jonathan Taylor. I think the year before that, like everyone's just been injured. It just sucks, you know. But I mean, yeah, I think I'd probably go with Jamar. I don't think there's going to be a definitive number one though. CMC, like maybe, I don't know. Okay, like, all right, that was our high 600. I think that this one's harder than the. I don't know. I think it's my keys. You know, the keys are a little trickier on this computer than my laptop. Saquon, yeah, Saquon could be up there for sure. Now that I think about it, I think I'd still probably go with Jamar though. I don't know, but yeah, I think that the thing with Saquon is like I'd just be a little questionable with his injuries. Pacheco or Braylon Allen? Probably Braylon Allen. I think that you with Pacheco, I don't think you can really start him just yet until I see more. Um, I see more with him. You know, I always get a running back in my first pick. Yeah, I usually do too, but like I don't know. I feel like I got to switch it up now. Last year I was good. This year, I literally had the number one pick in I think all four of my leagues, so I took Christian McCaffrey, and yeah, that did not work out well. Full PPR Judy or Jawan Jennings? Probably Judy. I like Judy. Dude, Judy's just been good with Jameis Winston, and like we were looking at before, he's top five in receiving yards. So, you think Chiefs will win this year? I hope not. I think they definitely could though. I need a new Super Bowl winner. I think a lot of people could agree with that too. Dude, it's like the little jumps that get you. You gotta like time it perfectly. Which reminds me back whenever I used to stream like Fortnite on Twitch. Like I press the button and it doesn't work. I might actually rage at this dude. Wait, let me see. Okay, no. Okay, I want to see if like the right arrow key maybe jump. Oh shoot, wait, I actually didn't see one of the names down there until just now. So let's not play that game anymore. I didn't read down there. All right, this is better. This one doesn't have any ads. Oh, never mind, it does have ads. Just decided to bring it up late. Okay, this one's a lot slower. No, I don't think that's it. Wait. There it is. Yeah. There. Whoops. There we go. All right, we got it. We got it. We got it. Yeah, see, that was my high, 2,180. That was what we got on the bus. So, I mean, if we can beat that, that'd be insane. But see, this is so much better. This interface, you know, in dark mode. I'm a big dark mode advocate, so I like this a lot more. That trips me up though whenever it switches it. Like I didn't even I barely tapped the down arrow and it just made you go all the way down. Okay. I don't know if I can play this game anymore, dude. Start slower, I mean. Let's see. I swear I'm just misclicking right now. Here, let me move my face cam down. You guys get a better view here. Because I just realized that you guys probably couldn't see that well. See if I can play my monitor. I'm looking at my streaming monitor. Okay. Down, up. Oh yeah, we're looking good. It didn't jump. All right. Another question: Connor, Pollard, JSN, PPR, Eagles, Saints, Eagles or Saints defense. Probably. So the Eagles. Let's log back in here. Probably go with the Eagles defense against Panthers. With the Saints though, against the Giants, maybe. I think you're probably safer with the Eagles. Between Connor, Pollard, JSN, start two. Probably go with James, Connor, and JSN, especially in a PPR format. I think you probably have better bets with those two. Oh, see, this is the issue now. You can't see my face. There we go. Let's put it like right here. No, that's a little weird. We'll keep it here. Yeah, so I think you go with JSN, James Conner. I think those are probably your best two there, and then start the Eagles defense. That's probably what I would do. Let me see. So if I do, yeah, let's just keep it like there. Let's just keep it right there. Keep it right there. Let's try this again. Spaces. Okay, spaces jump as well. I'm more of an arrow type guy, you know. I'm telling you, that trips me up so much. It's right though, I'm used to it. I'm locked in. This game's easy. Oh yeah, we're at 1100. We're chilling. 1200. Just keep it going. Alright, if we can beat the high score. Let me not talk too early, actually. gosh, that was scary. Uh, uh. Come on, let's get to at least 2,000. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I almost messed up. Okay, we're at 2K. We're at 2K. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going. Let's go for... I don't know. Let's go for the record here. I think we can get it for sure. I'm actually tough at this game. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, we're at a high score right now. Dude, are we going to get 3K? I don't know if this thing goes... This thing's going... I wonder if it's at max speed. I could do this forever. I'm just so locked in right now, you know? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, this is easy work. I'm not even worried in the slightest right now. I think I might go D1 for this, actually. That almost... Alright. Well, there we go. There's the score. Almost at 35. That would have been crazy. That's not bad either, though. Alright. We're done with that. It's fun while it lasted. Let me see. Negative infinity. Huh. Let's look at some of these deep balls. Alright, let's see how many of these were actually completed, though. 1 for 59 yards. Oh, that's cool. It's like the, I don't know. You know, obviously I'm not a quarterback, but maybe Christian Watson? I don't know. I think that was kind of just locked up. Incompletion at Brock Wright. Let's go and look at this. Alright, I'm not even gonna. Dynasty win now roster. Would you send Ayuk or Olave for Higgins? Follow up. Would you send Ayuk, Tank Dell, or Olave and Tank Dell for Higgins? So would I rather trade Olave or Ayuk? I feel like my gut's telling me Olave just because of how much Ayuk got paid. I think long term, we're like I don't know. I feel like Ayuk's gonna be more incorporated long term. Um, So I mean, I think what I would say, I would probably definitely do that trade. Like I would send Olave or Ayuk for Higgins, especially if you're in win now mode. Between the two though, look at their ages. Isn't Olave like pretty young? Let's see. Ayuk is 26. Are they both? They're both pretty young, huh? Olave is 24. So I mean, a 2 year gap there, I guess. Um, I think I'd probably. I don't know. I think a lot. I think Ayuk's probably got more potential just because of how much he got paid. What's up, Daniel? How you doing? Would you start Lamb or Judy, Dowdle or James Connell? I think probably kind of crazy we're questioning CD or Jerry Judy now, but I mean that's like the reality of the NFL, huh? I think you probably I don't want to say Judy, but I think you go Judy. You know, like CD Lamb's so talented, but I think you got to go Judy. Between Dowdle or Connor, let's go back. Let's look at the matchup here. Um, I think either way, you can't go wrong. I mean, right now, Dallas is supposed to lose. Cardinals are favored, but Dallas is projected more points by Vegas. So I think either way, you probably don't go wrong there. But I think you might want to go Dowdle, honestly. Because I mean, Dowdle's been a beast. I think he had like what 22 carries over 100 plus yards. Higgins hammy and overall injury. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. And like if you didn't want to do that trade, I think that's fine too because um hammy injuries really I don't think that they ever go away. So I wouldn't blame you at all for not pulling the trigger on that. So yeah. Is this just gonna be the yeah, it's just gonna be the Thursday night game. Um wait. I wanna experiment. Look at week 13. We'll show all of the plays, all the passing touchdowns. 51. Nice. Nice. And then it goes in order by games too. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool. That's sick. I wish I had more time to check all this stuff out. It was pretty cool. Let's get some Russell Wilson action. I like me some Russell Wilson. Let's go ahead and see some dropbacks. Yeah, let's go like 15. All right, well let's get some actual throws. This is interception. I don't even remember this play. Oh my gosh. Oh, it sucks. I mean, he was kind of bagged either way, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was. We probably should let that develop a little more. I don't know. Once again, I'm not a quarterback, so I can't really judge him. Drake May's been really good too. Honestly, May, Nix, and Jaden Daniels have all been really good rookie quarterbacks. And I am curious to see how Penix does once he eventually starts. I think that would be interesting to see. Let's see, what time is it? Alright, I think like 10 more minutes I'll give it, and then no one else comes in, then I think we're gonna wrap it up because I can do some other stuff today. Or I gotta do other stuff before the Texas game. I'm gonna be glued to my TV for that game. What was this EPA? What does EPA mean? And there was just a lot of complicated stats that like I feel like if you dig into, you just go down a giant rabbit hole. Like rushing yards per play, who's number one? Ravens. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, if you got Cardinals, Eagles, Buccaneers, Commanders, Niners. I mean, other than the Niners, Packers, Lions. I mean, Niners, Packers, Lions. You're not expecting their quarterbacks to run a lot. Same with the Saints. But like Ravens, Cardinals, Eagles, Buccaneers, Commanders, all their quarterbacks can run, so it makes sense that they're top five. And it definitely makes sense that the Lions are two in total yards per game because of obviously Sonic and Knuckles. This win streak is insane. They should have lost to the Texans though. This still makes me mad. Week 10. It's already been gosh, it's only been 4 weeks since week 10. Are you serious? I feel like that game was yesterday. Man, time flying by, huh? 100. Wait. Wait, that is kind of confusing now. So I guess there are only 872 snaps, but they played 873. Same thing here, I guess. Hmm. Maybe there was like a mess up in one of the snaps and they didn't count it. But I mean, that's kind of funny. Look at Terry McLaurin, plus 16% catch rate over expected. Amon-Ra plus 13.4. AJ Brown plus 14. I mean, those are just your tough catch guys. George Pickens, that was like what 6.1. Kittle 13.7. 4.9 Hunter Henry. Yeah, I mean I'm expecting your tight ends to be pretty high. Mark Andrews, Diggs. Man, I miss Stephon Diggs. Devonta, that's kind of surprising. Godwin. I miss Godwin too. Godwin was a stud for the first 7 weeks. Wide receiver one, right? All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I got other stuff to do today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a move on that. But thank y'all so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I don't know if I'm gonna be live next week because of basketball, but if I am, you'll see me. Video coming out later today, I believe. So you guys will see me